Welcome, Wizdumb. Give us an
Uh,
introduction to who you are and why you are here.
oh, well, I'm here because
And good
you asked me
morning.
to be. Good morning to you, my friend in Denmark. Greetings from down under.
Yeah,
You drinking coffee?
yeah, I drink coffee. It's 9:30 or something. 9:50.
Nice. All right. Well, I am DJ
And
Wisdom.
waking up.
Ah, nice. Nice. Cheers.
Yeah, let's
I am
go.
DJ Wisdom, also known as Trip and Stumble, recently as Cash Monet. I am label boss of Cosmic Conspiracy Records, Architect Records, newly founded, and a little known Fermented Records, the little house label there. We released a album from Mexican artist True Anomaly, and that's featured some remixes of Product Placement, Grouch,
Oh,
and myself, Trip and Stumble. So yeah, little known factoid out there. There's the release by CCR sublabel Fermented Records. The release is called Uncommon Courtesy by True Anomaly, and there's some good bangers on there. Sounds good. Still holds up quite nicely. Um, yeah, I guess I'm probably most known for my compilations and my work with my label, Cosmic Conspiracy Records. Um, yeah, I've spent a good few years as well, I guess, kind of semi-retired, not doing live sets and stuff, and not being really as active in the music industry as I was for the a large portion of my life,
yeah,
really. So yeah, I guess part of me getting back into this is yeah, one of the reasons why we're talking today, and
yeah. So,
I guess. mm,
so let's begin with Cosmic Conspiracy. What happened and why did it start?
Cosmic Conspiracy Records started basically when I got married. I at the age of like 18, I went over into India. I was in love at the time, and the woman I was in love with was like, "Oh yeah, you come over to India," and I kind of did, and the relationship didn't work out, and I ended up with like 6 months of time in India, and I never wanted to be a DJ or anything like that. I didn't look for that or seek that out. I'm more a eclectic collector of music and appreciator of music, I think, and art. And I ended up through the cosmic coincidence getting asked to DJ at an event, and that like led to me meeting a lot of other artists and then sharing their works that they were making, and yeah, beginning of my DJ career, my music industry thing in India. Like four times I was in India, 6 months each time. And the second time or so, I was organizing events and whatnot. Goa, further south, and Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and stuff. Gokarn, even some up north in Dharamsala. I think I did a lunar eclipse festival in Hampi, India, in '98 or '99. It's a long time ago. I don't remember, but that that strange cosmic connection, I guess, with this music and the parties and the psychedelic lifestyle of which I was maybe a part of from birth because my weirdo hippie family and stuff. That led me on a trajectory of like returning back to India and being really involved in the psychedelic scene. And I met my ex-wife there last time in India, and she was stunningly beautiful, and uh, we met. We had like a 3 month, like a brief affair in India, and then I returned to Europe, and she actually like tracked me down. It'd probably be pretty creepy, I'd say, by today's standards, but yeah. So we did a year together in France, where I was living at the time, and then a year in London, and the plan was, I think, to go back to the States or something, and because we could both work there visa wise and everything, and that
Yeah.
didn't happen. I think 9/11 happened, and so she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go back to New Zealand. You should come out to New Zealand." I was like, "All right, yeah, cool." So I went out to New Zealand at like 21 or 22 years of age, and you know, the population's much smaller, and
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any connections or anything like that, and I was just kind of working as a painter part time, and yeah, I didn't know where there was parties or what was going on or what I could do or if I could be part of it or anything like that. And I think eventually my ex-wife, someone at work, a woman that she worked with as a secretary at a hairdresser's, her partner was a promoter or a DJ, and they were going to come around. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. And the guy came around and like he wasn't so nice. He was he was this staunch South African guy, and like he was kind of too cool for school vibe. And I don't even think he said hello to me or anything. He just like he, his wife and my wife were talking in the front garden, and I think he came in and like put his hands on his hips and looked at my setup and my equipment and everything. And all he said to me was, "There's no scene here. If you want to play in this country, you got to come through me." I was like, oh, that was a bit weird. And like, we went outside, like, he drank my wine and ate my food and stuff and left. And my wife at the time was like, "Oh yeah, it was great." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, he kind of really no, he kind of just snubbed me and told me, and maybe I don't know, maybe that's it. I've gotten married, I moved to New Zealand, and I just don't do anything anymore in terms of this. So other aspects for my creativity and stuff." And then I was also like, well, for a long time, I'd met a lot of artists, especially in India, that I think had a lot to say in terms of originality and style, but maybe because they didn't have the right connections, or know the cool people, their voices weren't being heard, or they weren't being asked to play at these events. So when I was promoting and running events and festivals, I always did my best to really try to focus at least 50% on artists that might not be known, but were doing something quite original or that could definitely stand alongside the more what was popular at the moment, if you wish, etc. Um, and it was really, I guess, the New Zealand and me not having much else to do, and I think I got my first computer, apart from like a Commodore and an Amiga a long time ago for games. I'd never really had a powerful computer. So me getting married, New Zealand, social isolation to the rest of the world, and I told my wife after that experience, I was like, oh, instead of stopping, maybe it's time I do a label. I for a long time I talked to artists and said it's good music. You should totally do what you're doing. You never know, if I did run a label, I would put my money where my mouth is and help get
Yeah.
your music out there because it's good. Um, and so yeah, Cosmic Conspiracy was born on the beaches of India. Me not wanting to be a DJ, and uh, and then ironically it directing so much of my life, I guess, in terms of where I traveled to and the countries I lived and where I eventually settled. So yeah. Um, for 13 or 14 years, Cosmic Conspiracy Records was run from New Zealand, and
Yeah.
I'd say we're definitely a down under label with a distinctly down under
Yeah.
sound.
Couldn't be more down under from here.
In saying that, though, I'd say there's definitely some Scando roots there. Those Scando roots in the sound at least run deep, as
Yeah.
well as with some of the artists like yourself.
Yeah, there was this small amount of Cypress artists doing it differently. Was more, it had this more techno structure to it.
Yeah. Yep.
It was looked down upon by the more established acts. It was not melodic.
Yep. Yeah, it's not melodic. Where's everything telling me what to feel if I don't
Yeah,
know that I'm supposed to feel a euphoric rise every 16 bars? What am I even doing? I always loved the more, I guess, like cinema or like any art, sure, anyone, I guess, with $1 billion budget can make a Marvel movie, but can you make a really interesting dynamic film with just a handheld camera and maybe a few elements? It's obviously a lot harder to do that, and I really respect that, and I guess why I've always been drawn to the more minimal sound, as we would call it. It goes through many terms around the world, but I guess the more minimal dark side of progressive, yeah, always had those aspects of, ooh, it's getting higher by going deeper, and that's much harder to do psychologically,
yeah,
psychedelically, and on a dance floor as well, I guess, from the point of view of a performer or a DJ. Um, but it's amazing, I guess, to see a dance floor absolutely lose their mind to the more simplistic aspects that you could draw it back to and watch them fill in the gaps and maybe make their own story to it. And I think that, for me at least, is really psychedelic rather than heaps of rolling arpeggiators that are really designed to make me feel a euphoric thing. I mean, maybe it's my choice if I want to feel that euphoria or if I want to feel something far more introvertedly weird. I find a lot of the types of music that I guess we're involved in are definitely Cosmic Conspiracy. It has a lot of that, you know.
yeah.
I've always tried to, even that it's, call it what you want, dark prog, digressive, minimal prog, minimal psi, whatever, Uh, with Cosmic Conspiracy, I've always tried to offer to listeners and consumers, DJs and stuff that would be getting this music to play out, a good even selection of, maybe, if you would, the more lower BPM techie numbers that could be played in clubs, etc., as well as some crossover techno-y stuff, but also, I guess, that balance of daytime daytime stuff and nighttime stuff. When possible, I try to do it on the one compilation, because I always liked playing nighttime music in the daytime.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, the previous releases, there's a lot of quite a few tracks on every release that are dynamic in terms of, yeah, you could play at night as well, but they'll work very well for that
Yeah,
daytime vibe.
that's the beauty of the minimal side. It worked 24.
That's it. Um, DJ Shea Jabu from Cosmic Conspiracy, one of the label DJs, I was speaking with him earlier today, and he was talking about how much he likes High Noon, the compilation High Noon, and
Yeah.
that's nice. I'm glad he likes that one. I feel I released that compilation around a time that was pretty difficult for me in my life, and some health stuff and some tragedies. And I think I feel sometimes that release got, like, left, left. I'm not left, but it didn't maybe get as much promotion from my part as it could have, and yeah, like, it's a wild, for those that don't know it, that are watching or listening to this. It's a compilation of daytime, mainly daytime minimal prog, but all Wild West themed. you know,
It's super cool.
I, I grew up a bit in the West, and I always, as a kid as well, loved the westerns and that. And I found for many years, we've all been there, whether it's at Boom Festival or Voove or Ontarius, and you're on the dance floor and the sun's out and it's hot, and it just has that perfect. Oh, this is Pixie. She's joined us. Hello, Pixie.
The sidekick.
Yeah, yeah. I feel so much of that prog, especially, but the minimal prog vibe has a very Western elements. When you look up across the dance floor and you see your friend, and it's like an Ennio Morricone moment, and chill 'em, yeah. And I was like, man, why is there no collection of daytime prog minimal psychedelic bangers, but all Wild West homage? And I was like, there needs to be. We can do this, yeah. And so I contacted a lot of the artists and told them the vision for it, and they were like, "Yeah." I think that one the label. I got a bunch of samples from. I bought a bunch of like steel brush samples and acoustic stuff, and distribute that evenly through all the artists so they could create their individual interpretations. But I digress. I'm happy with that one. I told like Seamus, it's a good release. I think. Yeah, I think maybe 5-10 years from now there'll be some young psychedelic head in some country that because that is like, what? What is this? And some beautiful tracks on there, man. Like, oh man, just what a lineup too. Like, well, Dope, Magada, Chromagone. Gosh, we've got Bloop on there, Minimal Criminal. Oh yeah, so many great different interpretations of that Wild West moment. So yeah, DJs out there, if you need yourself some Wild West, good, the bad, and the ugly vibes on the dance floor, high noon. There's a compilation out there for you. I need a drink. I need a drink. One sec. Ah, tequila. Oh. All right. Oh, actually, I should fucking make some water with this. This is really strong. I don't mind, but yeah, I've got. All right. What else? What else would you like to talk about?
Let's talk a little bit about how ingenuity.
Say again.
Let's talk about ingenuity.
Ingenuity. Yeah. The first release. 2000, 2003, I believe. Yeah, 2003 or 2004. I'm pretty sure with that one, it was the debut compilation from, well, the debut compilation I released and the first from Cosmic Conspiracy. I think the name, obviously, by now, anyone that's followed the label knows I like a good witticism and a pun. So ingenuity, coming from New Zealand, the ingenuity, spirit, pull yourself up by her bootstraps, put it together with a bit of number 8 wire. So I'm pretty sure that one I compiled and we pressed it in like 2003, but we couldn't distribute and release it till 2004 because of some logistical, either in European import or NZ export. I don't recall, but yeah, that featured some debut releases of oh gosh, that was the debut release from New Zealand's own AJ Hickling, Diawata, who um, passed away recently. His first track released globally was on there. I think also Anna Coolith from Switzerland, I believe, or Sweden. This is a long time ago. Smo, was there Alfredo Garcia? Yeah, there was the Alfredo track on there, Planet and Sprung on. yeah, Ulf Cotter, Alfredo Garcia. Yeah, a lot of. I think with most of there's in a lot of the Cosmic Conspiracy releases, same as the events when I used to do events, try to new artists and give them as much focus as maybe some more well knowns. But in the case obviously of Ingenuity, it was mainly unknown artists. I think gosh, I'm trying to think of who the most known artist on that release might have been. It might have been Ozone or something, or or I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, that I guess was the image, that artwork is it was a painting. It was a painting done by a friend of mine, and it's quite big, a very beautiful painting. And it was in his lounge, and we had quite a few parties at his house and after parties, and beautiful location. And the sun would be coming up. I looked at that painting so many times, and to me, it really signified, I guess, like oh the fighting spirit and the passion and kind of yeah ingenuity. And what was the quote from that in the album cover insert was everything burns with the right spark. uh, and
And
yeah, I
I
guess that
remember that one. I must admit, I pirated it first. It
you
wasn't
pirated
anywhere.
it.
Yeah, it wasn't anywhere. And then I just had it. I took it up to a friend and listened, and it was an eye opener. That, wow, man, that was something different finally. Because I was
Ah,
never that much into Goa.
nah, yeah, it was, yeah, definitely different. Oh, well, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm glad it resonated with you and other people out there. And um, yeah, well, I knew that to me the music is good and really good. I was surprised when it resonated, I guess, with so many people out there on a global scale. That was something really special. And yeah, Ingenuity that started it all. That was
And the
I had the
combination really
tracks.
took off from there.
Yeah. You could definitely see in terms of a strong thematic. The themes got stronger and stronger from there onwards. Contact lens,
That
contact
was
lens, our
great.
second. Yeah, that I think. Yeah, I think that really. I mean, yeah, I guess you look at the last release from Cosmic Conspiracy and you look at the first, and there's definitely a lot of you can still see the voice, Um, yeah, but Contact Lens for sure really, I guess, really cemented the label sound. And at the time, what was my DJ sound, that was the stuff that I was playing, and the unreleased stuff that I found really resonated with people. And in the name Contact Lens, that was mm, Andrew Ostroff, Ozone, and myself. We came up with that. Yeah, that compilation was Andrew and myself. I met Andrew through Ingenuity. Featured on Ingenuity, two tracks, I believe. If my memory serves me right. But
I thought so.
Andrew,
It was wrong.
mm, and Andrew's a great artist, highly
Yeah.
original, very unique sound. Um, Such a live set, yeah, octo tracks and stuff, and machine drums, and it's really he probably has one of the most impressive studios I've ever seen in terms of like the man's got a problem. Just wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling, wall to wall. But yeah, we became friends through Ingenuity. I featured him on Ingenuity, and he's a graphic design artist of some high repute, actually. And I've had him do the majority. I've done a few of the artworks for some of the Cosmic Conspiracy releases myself, but it's a general rule of thumb. It's Andrew Ostroff, aka Ozone. my designs, but he's the guy that has the wizardry to make my vision really happen exactly how I like. Cryptozoology, man, forget about it. Like, I'm sending him sketches and some long haikus with some descriptions that probably we read like wine descriptions of like unicorn with this expression and a kraken and some ray gun. And I send all my stuff and we talk about it in depth and then boom. So yeah, contact lens compiled by Andrew Ozone and myself. That had again, like every CCR release, more or less, debut releases from Cosm, Tetrameth, Shadow Effects. There's a few other, man. It's been a while. Like there was a time I knew every track listing by that. Now I'm likely to be at a festival and have somebody ding me on the elbow and give me the nod because they're playing one of my tracks. Now I'll go, oh yeah, I thought I liked this. It sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think I've
Oh no.
my. Yeah, let me fix this. Nice, that's better. Yeah, and again, like Contact Lens 2 was more a daytime one. I think in the notes it had like an interplay about each track contained as a lens when played at an acute angle with a source of light. Yeah. But so that one was definitely more daytimey. You know, I think High Noon as well is definitely more daytimey as well. But Contact Lens, very versatile nighttime dark prog. But like
it was dark, but you went much darker.
That's right. The next release. Yeah, we did go a lot darker from that, definitely. Yeah, well, what the next release that came after Contact Lens. Yeah.
Yeah, lurker.
The Lurker. Yeah, the Lurker, man. Here, hold on. Let's see. You know what? If I was actually smart and prepared for some of this, I probably could have actually. Oh, well, I couldn't have sold CDs because you can't buy CDs anymore. That's done. But the Lurker.
Oh my God, prestige.
Yeah, that's a real, actual sealed Lurker. Yeah, that I have to say is probably in terms of a DJ and a label. That's probably personally what I'm most proud of. Like after the success of, I would say buy it there, but you can't buy this anywhere. I see them go on Discogs sometimes for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. What was it, 500 or something?
I'm not sure. Somebody's offered me 500 before. I'm not sure the most expensive one on Discogs, but they're hard to get. We pressed 1,000 and it's sold out worldwide. Like
I thought
1,000
it was only
CDs.
500 with that one.
Was it 500? It might have been 500 to be honest.
I think it was.
Is it 500?
Yeah, I think it was 500 because you were a little bit scared if it was actually going.
That checks out. Yeah, style wise, I mean, after Ingenuity, and then Contact Lens, I mean, wow, you have to understand, from my point of view, I'm in New Zealand. I'm like 22 years old or 23 years old, and all of a sudden, I guess a style that for me had always been more outskirts and not so widely accepted by people, was getting a lot of attention. I thought it was great, and I thought, hey, man, maybe who knows? Maybe this is my chance to release something just for me.
Yeah.
Something that myself as a DJ would be like the ultimate release. I just wanted a collection that not track 4 and track 7 would be killer. And yeah, I wanted a release that would just be cinematic, thematic themed, the underwater life and death of Voyage, Julius Verne's 2000 Leagues Under the Sea. I wanted to experience, a David Attenborough vision of like, yeah, but with dark nighttime minimal. And I thought, well, I've released 2 ones, people like it. Now I can sneak in one, and they might go, he's insane. But yeah, we like those other 2, so and yeah, I did not expect it to.
No, it's also the structure on the track on that one is very much more techno with the dark pop vibe to it.
Yep.
Well, the Staticon opened a festival last year in Paris.
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw
fucking
that.
incredible.
I saw that online. Yeah, very nice, big techno festival and some static horn bumping. Bravo, bravo.
What the hell?
Again, in my history as a DJ, I have DJed other genres like under different names and stuff. Day job, side things. You have to, I guess, if you're passionate about it and need to support. You know, yeah, I think Cosmic Conspiracy stuff is a lot more. Yeah, you can play it at techno festivals. There's a lot you can play it in house sets. It's not just, oh yeah, this is some banging psytrance and there's only one place this works, and that's in a fluoro environment with, you're like, no, man, this is some versatile, maybe psychedelic techno. I think there's a Venn diagram of like different labels and maybe the psychedelic techno sound and the more techno sound. But I've tried to, maybe I've succeeded or not, with Cosmic Conspiracy to offer to the listeners and the DJs and the artists who are part of it yeah, a bit of, is it techno? Is it this? Is it, or is it some of those elements? And I think as dance music, that's important, and that makes versatility. Your track is probably going to be played 10, 15, 20 years down the line if it has some of that, that versatility in it.
Yeah, more timeless.
Exactly, and then it's fun because you can have something that has a more psychedelic sound, but you can also mix it differently, like you would, or perhaps even 3 or 4 tracks of a more stripped back, minimal sound. That's not going to happen with full on trance and stuff, and that's quite interesting because I think that, I guess, for me, my feelings with dance music and stuff is art. The interesting parts lie there, where people maybe make one thing, but they're coming from a totally different background and their views. I guess ultimately it's that melting pot and maybe the juxtaposition of something that's used in maybe one style that becomes used from, whether that be an individual, whether that be a sound movement, whether that be a label, whether that be a small party and somewhere in the world that turns on a lot of travelers to a weird sound that then goes back. I don't know, but I think for me, I love that juxtaposition and that foundering of, if you're a DJ and you're like, no, dubstep. Oh yeah, could you play my wedding if it's dubstep? Wait, what about not dubstep? Could you? Oh no. I don't know about that. So I like I don't know. Sound wise, there's so much great stuff out there. I like a crossover, and cross pollination, I think, is the name of the game. Or
Yeah.
yeah, really. Otherwise, we get too habitualized with what we're used to and what we're comfortable with, and often I think it's that combination of something quite different that creates something new and fresh.
Yeah, that's also how I have it when I write. I don't write genre. I just write electronic music. And then there's no boundaries.
The Lurker, that is how you and I met, I believe, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, God,
On,
it's like 18.
on my party day, I had a party that day. We were going to play Staticon live. So
Nice.
And then I had a talk
Nice.
with you. I was just home to get some stuff, and then I was introduced to you. And you said you wanted to release that track, and I was like, "What the hell, man?" So I went down
Yeah.
there, but okay, now it's a release party.
Yeah, baby. Nice. That was good. That was a great track, man. I heard that track in a few different countries. We saw it played there in Paris at this techno festival. I obviously rinsed it in my DJ sets. It was really good. I remember I requested you change something about it, but I don't remember what that was. I think it was a snare.
Yeah, it was
What was it?
something. Then it was something else, and it took. I think it was 3 months. We actually did some edits. I ended
Wow,
up
wow.
doing PPI edit.
Yeah, CCR edit. Yeah. Oh well. Hopefully I wasn't too much of a pain to deal with in that terms. But a great track. I hear people come up to me when that track is played at festivals, or people talk to me about, oh yeah, I played the track, and they say, oh, you Dragon Ball's dead. I said, no, I don't know. This guy is the artist on my label's track. I released this on my compilation. I don't know Dragon Ball Z. They're like, well, the sample, blah blah blah. Don't you get tired of saving the world? Stop saving the world and get a hobby. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
I didn't
Well,
know
that
it
was a
was
good
from
track.
them. I didn't know where it was from either. I just thought it was cool because I was so tired of people saving the world by just talking.
Virtue signaling. Yes, yes. The good old virtue
So I
signaling.
thought I got,
Very.
well, now I got the chance to throw it in the head.
What did I do with my? Hold on 1 second, please. You can edit me out. What did I do with my weed? There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lurker though. Yeah, amazing. A lot of other fellow Danes on there. Um, Debut again. Debut release from Cypox. Debut release from Bufo. Um, yeah,
Wasn't Cyclops
but
on Contact Lens?
was Cypox? Yeah, he probably was on Contact Lens actually.
I think so.
Yeah,
With a
yeah.
more, yeah, yeah.
Well then it was yeah. So, but that was his debut, and then Bufo, Cypox is on Moses and Moses Mugiden, is it?
Yeah.
And Nikolai Cypox. But yeah, that I mean, again, that compilation I compiled for me, just me, just me. I was like, oh, instead of it going like I wanted to get darker and weirder, but also lighter, and like, yeah, that to me, if I died tomorrow, well, I probably wouldn't probably be gone. But I guess I'm most proud of that for me in terms of objectively outside myself, just as somebody that likes the style of music. I really that's one that I'd be like, yeah, wow, cool. That's yeah. I stand by that one. I would have that on my tombstone. I'm proud of that release. It really communicated, I guess, years of what my style was as a DJ and where I tried to bring people. And I didn't think it would be popular at all. I was like, no way, they're gonna hear old Cyfox da da da. And then,
Yeah.
look at that. It's hard to look cool dancing to that stuff. And yeah, so when it sold out worldwide and became like I still am surprised. I'm really grateful and humbled by that, and yeah, I've done a lot of other compilations, and I'm proud of every one of them, and each one is special. But to me, the Lurker is, yeah. Especially if you're of a certain age and into a more
The
darker.
Lurker was a voice for the Scandi prog sound. The one that Iboga didn't touch.
Oh well,
But it
well,
was
wow.
That was when Boga took off in a different direction and kind of left the Danish underground. So
Interesting.
that was the voice for us.
You're right. Iboga did definitely go into a more I don't want to say peckier, but yes, more softer, softer, I guess, direction. Let's call it softer sound than Iboga had done up to that point.
They went a bit more mainstream, and I think business-wise, that was good.
You said it, not me.
Because they survived everything.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Well, what else? What else would you like to discuss?
Yeah, but let's. Then you actually gave a project. Yes, I thought nobody would touch the Buffalo project. Let's talk about those two guys, because Moses, he was more minimal style when he made music under the name Moses, and then there was Cybox. He's more the progressive, but also minimal style guy, and that project was something else.
Well, okay, so for me, I guess we can't talk about Bufo without maybe talking about Crotus Records. So, for those that don't know, Crotus Records, was a Danish label. Had a couple releases, 2, 3, yeah. The Crimular debut album, that, obviously, milestone for minimal and forest minimal. I mean, that was huge. But yeah, Crotus Records was a Danish label. For those out there that don't know, I was a label DJ for Crotus Records when I was young, married in New Zealand, and I would try to, represent their sound. I've been a long time fan of the darker Scando sound for many years, and so I was happy, to represent and try to incorporate the music. That's how I was familiar with Moses. We've never met, but in Cypox, same thing. Although I think it might have been through you or someone else that I got connected with Nikolai. But obviously, for me personally, Nikolai is more my sound and style. A bit more cheeky and ballsy. Just a bit. It's not afraid to be different. It's tough and it's a little bit weird, and I quite like that. But yeah, Moses and Nikolai doing this Bufo project, which, again, if anybody, probably not. I mean, who'd be watching this and not really know about this subgenres and these? But I guess, yeah, Bufo was like a cappella, using a lot of mouth samples. It was very drunken.
Moses was more minimal, and Cypox, he should be considered one of the OGs of psychoactive. That's for sure.
Yes, I agree. Cypox should be considered one of the OGs of psychoaggressive, really. They've both been down under and whatnot, but yeah, like in terms of sound, especially. Like, I mean, listen to Diesel Donkey and stuff, and you go back historically, and you go through every release within the genre or subgenre, and you find me anything close to that in terms of originality. Oh man, so good. And now, as you see, he's just coming back with a passion. He just bam, 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 bam.
Full throttle, man. It's
track after track
on the radio, the 24th.
I think, you never know. Watch the horizons. You might be seeing we might be seeing an EP from old Cypox soon from CCR. We'll see. Little birdie tells me maybe from you as well.
Oh yeah, if you don't stop me, it will be an album.
Album could be good. I think the world could do with a Static Corn album, really.
Yeah, but it's there. Don't worry.
What else would you like to talk about? You can edit me out. You can edit me out. Going, what else would you like to talk about?
People need to learn who we are.
Oh, nice. Edit some stuff out. Edit some stuff out for professionalism's sakes, at least on my part.
Yeah, let's see how much I edit out because I want people to know us. This is not some podcast professional. This is me and you talking.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's good,
Yeah.
mate. That's good. Respect.
So now that you already said something about cosmic conspiracy coming back, now people should know, but they should probably know if they follow us anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess like we recently, so a lot of artists, I guess, okay, in summary, I came out touring in Australia in like 2013, I think it was, my Trip and Stumble tour. I had my live set. I came out and I was on tour with Sly Trance and a few other artists, and we had our 10-year anniversary party and everything. And I played Australia like 7 or 8 live sets. It was really good, successful tour. And then at the end of it, I had a really bad accident in Indonesia. I was on a motorbike and hit by a car. I broke my back. I was in a coma for a short time, and that was quite difficult. Um, and I ended up staying in Australia since then. That kind of changed things for me. Like I think 2 years after that accident, I was still. I for 1 year I couldn't perform live, and I couldn't go to parties, and I couldn't because I had a severe skull fracture and my orbital socket was dusted pretty bad, and I broke my back in 2 spots, and it was hard. Like I couldn't even really like tutor people for like production or DJing, which is something that I'd often helped with, and but after a while, it took me a bit of physiotherapy and stuff. I had a bunch of uh, brain bleeds, and I reabsorbed. They wanted to do surgery, and it was very risky surgery, and it would have involved like drilling 9 holes into my skull, and it was a 50% chance it would work. And I was like, 50% chance it'll work, and it won't. I was like, that's bad odds. Like, I'm awake, I'm talking. Let's not do that. And so once I kind of recovered a little from that, I was able to start doing a bit of music work again and some sets, live sets, and DJ. And around that time, I think I did High Noon. Like I was living here in Australia then, and I had like I think it was a big basement area that would flood when the storms came, and I had a studio set up in there, and I did High Noon, and then I think the popularity of the Trip and Stumble Arachnophobia track had become pretty popular, and a bunch of Cosmic Conspiracy artists and friends remixed that. I think those were the last releases really on Cosmic Conspiracy. And so yeah, in summary, I came on tour, had a great tour. I had a bad accident, and that set me back a bit of time. But I got back into music and was still performing a bit, even though it was difficult. And then, unfortunately, I had another a bad accident followed by a tragedy. My father passing in a fire, and yeah, unfortunately, that left me unable to perform, or I guess even really be around so much of what was my life for more than
Yeah,
20 years.
of course. Sometimes life throws you in another direction. Gotta sort that out
Yeah.
first.
And I didn't, I guess at the time after the accidents, like it was public knowledge, I guess what happened in the music industry and the music community did like help me. They came together and assisted with medical costs, which was really humbling to me. And like, uh, and I didn't know after my dad died, and uh, I was just really bad. Like I had to wear an eye patch to learn how to see out of my eye again, and I had to use a walking stick for like a year or so, and I stuttered. It was quite hard, and I couldn't really be around uh, big sound
Yeah.
systems and all that stuff, And over that time, yeah, I didn't know what should I do. Do I make a press release? Do I tell people, hey, yo, sorry, I need to tap out, too much credit? I just I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. You know, I guess part of it, I was thinking like, okay, all these connections and all these people I know to the music industry. I guess what happens if I stop releasing music? I mean, will people still check in on me? I wonder. I don't know, but suffice to say, I guess yeah, I went through a lot of recovery and physical therapy and stuff, and um, yeah, I settled in Australia. This is now home for me, and um, I over the years, people would ask me, "Hey, would you get back into music? Would you run a label?" And I was like, "Oh," I said, "I think, oh, maybe a folktronica label. Maybe I find some cool folktronica bands that are making like electronica folk music. I could get behind that, or jazz." I was like, "Yeah, maybe a jazz label. I like jazz." But yeah, people would ask me, and obviously a lot of friends of mine from a long time ago, Oscar, Allison, Grouch, other artists would sometimes ask me, "Hey, man, like, and quite recently, the universe seemed to kind of be leaning me towards that, and Grouch and quite a few other people like, hey, man, like, you should come out and this, and why aren't you, do what you
It's
used to
because
do
the
what you used to
conspiracy.
do." Yeah, connect people again, connect some people, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure, and then it just kind of led to that, and a lot of things led to it, and I don't know. I was like, well, I guess we'll kind of maybe stealthily be discreet about it. We'll have a birthday party for me, which falls on the 20-year anniversary. That'll be low key, and it was really low key. I was like, yeah, well, low key, and then we'll just drop a sick compilation.
Yeah.
We'll just drop a sick compilation for the end. Man, no press release needed. Sometimes I see these modern press releases for things, and it's like, whoa, that's like 20 paragraphs more than it needs to be. And like, I don't know. Yeah, so I guess the cat's kind of out of the bag. Actually, Oscar Grouch kind of let the couch out of the bag, well meaning. I'd posted something privately, semi privately, I think, on my wall. And he came in with, tagged us all publicly. It was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, well,
This guy got
I
this.
also have some reels with the cosmic conspiracy aliens. So
Yeah. I'd say people can tell. And I heard through other artists in other countries. So I was like, I'm hearing a buzz. And I'm like, that's funny because I've not said anything. So, yeah, I guess put it this way. Um, I've recovered enough, and I have my other artistic projects that I do. And now, from what I'm hearing from my other friends and artists, there's an actual need or a desire in the market that's saturated more than ever before for, I guess, maybe CCR's voice, or yeah, and yeah, so out there, yeah, listening to new artists, doing the whole A&R buzz again. I got a new compilation coming out. It was supposed to be dropping in September, but I have to hold off a little bit for one of our OG artists that is doing quite a big project. Actually, it's fine. I can say it. He'll be fine with that. It's Valerio, Minimal Criminal. He's tracking the soundtrack to some horror documentary
yeah, I
about the
saw it
history
on
of.
Facebook. he posted something about it on Facebook, so I'm pretty sure it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah. So I'll be on this compilation. It's called The Shocking Twist. It features Static Corn, features Cyfox, it features Minimal Criminal, features a few other artists as well. I won't give it all away right now, but I think people will be pleasantly surprised. And yeah, there'll be new releases coming from Cosmic Conspiracy and another sister sister label, if you would, yeah, or sub label of CCR.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. What about that new label that's starting?
mm.
What's that all about?
uh,
So,
well,
so you, so you're thinking about you can start PCR and then you start two labels.
well, I guess with CCR it was like, let me. I guess with CCR I've done it long enough, and it's known, it's done its job as a label. It has,
Yeah.
it's put a label on a sound. Artists know that sound. If they're going to submit works to be featured on, it's probably going to be in line with that sound. And I'm much older, wiser, and definitely dumber. So I think maybe I'm in a position now to be able to do that more with it affecting my own personal life less, if
Mm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, and because I don't have to be out there flying around to different countries promoting it and performing to get the word out, I feel that yeah, I can actually split my experience and attention between two labels and Architect Records. A sound again, it's very dear to me. I guess in some ways this type of sound helped perk my interest back in to electronica because I mean you can't work for 20 years in the industry and not have your algorithm be saturated with stuff, but there wasn't a lot of stuff that I had heard that I was like, wow, yeah, hey, this is great. And yeah, it was at Rabbit's Eat Lettuce. I went with Grouch, and at the end of a session late at night, we'd all been partying, and we kind of all headed our separate ways to go to bed. I was heading back to my camp, and I walked past this big stage. It was a roller skate rink, and it was a giant vulva. It was massive vulva in the forest. And I previously walked past it and saw it and went, wow, that's really cool. They've got like a stage roller skate rink. They can have hundreds of people roller skating. This is really great. And the giant vulva was really impressive. But on this particular night, me being an old disabled man in pain, I think I had my back brace on and stuff. And it
Mm.
was getting cold. And I was heading back to my camp. And I walked past this stage and I heard this really fresh sound, man. Like it was quite different. It was an amalgamation of things, and it really made me like stop in the middle of a forest, maybe 200 meters after the stage. And I stopped for a few minutes, and it was that different that I went, wow, like what is that? And I walked all the way back, and I went up and I listened, and I think for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I was arms crossed, awkward label owner industry guy. And the more I listened to it, it was two gals laying down the filth, man. And I was like, this is fresh. This is badass.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure what genre that was. I was like, wow, to my ears, this is an amalgamation of like two-step garage drum and bass with like Reese bass from dubstep, but four to the floor, minimal, so minimal, and so like I I was really surprised, and I stuck around for the whole set, and I was like, man, they're killing it. This is amazing. And I think at that point, I started to be like, wow, I don't know what that quite is. Like what you would call exactly that. That's an amalgamation of stuff I know, but I really liked it. And they killed it. Like I think for the rest of the entire festival, all my headliner friends and it's great to see you, Aviel, again at a party. And what music did you? I was like, I Grouch, and obviously all you guys, my friends, is all good, but I don't know what they were called. I saw these two gals just kill it, absolutely kill it. I really liked it. That was great. It was fresh. And I think on the second day or something, I was talking about this in the green room with Grouch and somebody else, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and they're like, "Are you talking about our music?" And I was like, did you ever go? Yep, I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was really fresh. Like, what is that quite? For the first time in all of my experience, I felt like going up to the DJ while you're playing and going, "Whoa, what is this type of music?" And they're like, bass house. And I was like, wow, really? Because, well, what I used to know as bass house, a little bit different. This is definitely more urban and like
Yeah.
really raw, that raw energy of dubstep and like D&B, but with the stripped back of minimal tech house and stuff. In electro, to me, it was great. And I guess around that time, my girlfriend probably thought I was crazy. I'm coming home and I'm unpacking my old equipment, my Ableton Push, the Chaos pads, the calculators, and I'm not hooking it up. I'm just seeing with cables. So what are you doing? I'm thinking. I'm just thinking about like, the equipment. Do I want? And at the time, I'm like, this the bass house and meeting themsies, and just being inspired by that made me go, wow, all right, this is something I love sound wise. It's a lower BPM, which is great for us older people, but the energy is quite high, very filthy, very filthy. Uh, yeah, and so yeah, Architect Records. I want to, just like with Cosmic Conspiracy, I want to hopefully have a unique sound and make a label for DJs, artists, listeners that really has a unique voice and attitude, and hopefully has that amalgamation of like tough, filthy funk and
Yeah.
humor, and that lighthearted humor and dance floor friendly, utile dance floor music, And I think bass house and dark house is such a large biome, you
Yeah.
know. There's the more deep introverted stuff. There's the more wubby. It's such a large biome, more electro focused. That I think it has a longevity, a lot of room to move and create in. And I, for
Yeah.
one, would like to help foster that and help maybe help it grow and or not grow, or change in some ways, or perhaps add our unique voice to that. And yeah, and saying that, we've got quite a few respected artists on board, some names that I think people will be surprised to hear some stuff other than psychedelic or techno come from. And yeah, I've got the first release is about halfway compiled. Noise in the Hood, Volume 1. I'm very happy with it. It's coming along great. Um,
Yeah.
I've played it to a few friends and artists, and they've all said, "Oh, wow, this is really something special, man." And so I'm quite happy about that. I feel I can split my time equally between Architect and Cosmic Conspiracy and still retain the quality output. And yeah, I look forward to really having some fun also with Architect and maybe exploring some soundscapes with some of my friends and artists that are new and fresh to us. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like a cool project. We released some Death House on Beatport Music Online, and it's going pretty well. I think it's one of the future genres, even though it's
Me
actually
too.
old, new
Me,
bass house,
me,
fresh.
me too. I think it is one of the more future genres in the sense that a lot of tech house has become stale, a lot of minimal house. I mean, electro, when's the last time anyone heard of electro and stuff, But I think I like, what was termed for a while complextro, you know, the more overtly sampled psychedelic electro. I was a big fan of that. And like when I
Yeah.
played clubs and stuff under different aliases, It's a good dance music. It's well produced. It's big. It has a good energy. So I think exactly because it has those elements of hip hop, trip hop, raga, two step, D&B, trap, all those elements. You know, it's such an amalgamation that it speaks to a lot of people across the board. But more importantly, simplistically, it's good party music.
Yeah.
Like it just works, you know? Like you
Yeah.
could walk into a club and be like, oh yeah, okay, I see where this is.
Yeah.
And that to me, you know, at my age, I'm like, yeah, that's a really handy dance music. I wanna I wanna pretend that I have that much energy, but I also want to be able to go slow and I want it to be fat and filthy. And I think the dark house bass house umbrella is like really I'm so excited about, and I'm really proud to have Mimsy's on board. And again, people can look forward to some surprises from some more well-known artists in a different genre, but their take on it. And yeah, if I was, I could have actually played you some samples otherwise, and played you the three sneak previews. But it's good.
A
It's
link
good.
to them.
Yeah, it's good. Like I'm just super happy where it's at. Yeah, artists out there, anyone listening to this, if you write something that's, you know, the more slower BPM and you want to explore techno music with a different sound palette and different, you know, a different flavor, we'd love to hear what you're working on, you know. Yeah, honestly, that between that and CCR, I think I'll be able to have both musical outlets of my tastes across the electronic gamut represented,
Yeah,
you know?
it's fun to have more labels. I got the Mighty Vibrations Psytrance, the minimal side. Then I got
Yeah.
Forion, this techno, and then I got We Talk Music Online, because We Talk Music Online I can do anything I want, and there is so much great music that doesn't fall into the other genres that I come across. So having a platform where I can be
That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I gotta give respect where respect is due, Pip. I tip my hat to you, mate. When I first met you, you know, debut release and this not, and I go away for a bit, I come back, and you're not just, you know, running multiple labels and stuff and helping so many artists and that, and doing great work with We Talk Music Online and with the radio, all that. It's really great. So good on you, man. It's great to
Yeah,
see. Respect, bro. Respect.
I'm trying to be the not evil one in the music industry.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Give a voice to all those who can't afford $20,000 for some campaign or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Together we can
How
do
crazy?
something.
How crazy is it to watch how the industry has changed in the last 20 years, huh? In terms of
Amazing.
like from the very beginning, underground stuff, man. Oh, you don't have the phone number? Well, you don't know where the party is, I guess. So bummer for you, you know? Like DJ's name? Who the fuck knows? There's no lineup printed. If you don't know that weirdo, then you just don't know. I, I have to say, I think coming up in that era, there is part of me that's still like, oh no, underground, man. Who needs to post a photo on Instagram? But it shows my age. Like, you know, it's a completely different market now. There's so many new acts. There's so many different DJs. Everybody has a presence. Everybody's trying to vie for your attention. And I, I find all that, you know, it's
Hands down, I use my teenagers to teach me how to do this shit.
nice, nice,
They know how to
nice,
use me.
nice.
So, but yeah, We Talk Music Online. It's
What happened? Yeah,
uh,
good on you. Good on you, man. You carrying the torch and doing good work. That's great. Everybody watching this, you should join We Talk Music Online, and we should all have a mass migration away from Zuckerberg and Facebook and all that.
yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
even Bandcamp is now owned by one of the biggest music licenses. It's not this one man place anymore. It's covered.
Yeah, that's and again, like I mean, the reason why I guess a large part of why I started Cosmic Conspiracy really goes back to India and like again, artists not being able to play or perform at these events because they didn't know the right people or have that contact or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't
exactly.
want maybe they didn't want to deal with the gatekeepers to try to get involved. And I guess maybe from my background and how I grew up, I don't have a problem with dealing with that and I'm not intimidated by that sort of stuff or that tough guy mentality or that oh we're the cool people and you're not. So I think I was well equipped to represent artists in that sense and like I
And
mean the fishermen, the people that catch the beautiful fish, maybe shouldn't have to be the people that yell to sell the fish. Let somebody else be like, hey man. And I think it gradually came about from really helping people be like, no, they're good. I vouch for them. They're good, man. They're good. To on a larger scale, what a label does. No, no, you're good. I'll spend money on the fact that you're good.
yeah,
And
that's exactly what I did with some of the Retail Music Online releases. It was to show these guys that try to release them by themselves and nothing happens. But with
that's
some
why
promotion and joint forces, we can reach top 10 anytime. So,
For me, some of the best memories and experiences through running Cosmic Conspiracy and the other labels are like that artists in Chile or something contacting us and saying, hey man, like we've been making music for 8 years and like we're not getting these gigs and we can't get any releases and no, and I'm like, well, let me hear. Hey, it's good. Yeah, it's good. All right. Yeah. Congratulations. You're professional. And all of a
yeah,
sudden, they're like, "Oh my God, thank you! We're getting gigs, and we're getting." I'm like, "Hey, man, uh, if all I had to do was be honest, if all I had to do was be honest, and maybe spend a little bit of money to be like, hey, this is good. There's a good guy
yeah,
here. This is some good art. What kind of jerk would I be to not do that? Like, honestly, and I think that's what labels should do. Really, like,
exactly,
I'm I'm old
exactly.
school in the views of I'll still, I'll still buy software for a new artist sometimes if I really like you and I know you, yeah, yeah, software, that stuff. I mean, there's quite a few labels out there now that essentially it's like a subscription service. If you want to be on the label, you pay them. You
Yeah,
pay for your.
I
To me,
had
this is
a few
crazy.
artists.
Like,
I have had a few artists where I helped them get a contract, and some of the response we got was, "Yeah, you got to pay us 300 euros to get released because that would."
yeah.
And I was like, "I know the business," and I was like, "Oh, what?"
Do you want to know something funny? Would you like some hot gossip behind the scenes info that nobody knows? Um,
The audience.
older listeners would probably remember Plus Scam Records, Thomas Plus Scam
Yeah,
Records, and Psy Nina. We won't even go into all that, all right? Although Plus Scam Records, a German label run by Thomas. I don't even remember his name, but he bought up a lot of labels. He bought up a lot of labels. He bought Crotus Records. That's when I had nothing to do with Crotus Records, really. The end of well, let me see. The plot thickens. That release was literally came about because I was a Crotus DJ, and Bess told me we're gonna close. We're gonna
yeah,
close the doors for the label, and I was like, oh man, really? Oh, and he said, yeah, take the tracks I had for uh, Soundscapes Volume 2, and maybe there's something on there that you want to release or something. Oh well, I'd rather not a label that I represented go down like that, especially
yeah,
a Danish one. So let's send you off proper Viking funeral style. We'll have a versus release. We'll do a versus release. It's a fixed fight. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
carried after. but we'll do a good one that fix in the Crotus sound with the CCR sound, and I think we did that with the plot thickens. I was quite happy about that. And I digressed a little. Why were we talking? Pluscam Thomas.
Yeah.
So he bought, I think he bought 7 pretty major labels actually. Just a business. I'm pretty sure from back in the day. Crotus, and I'm pretty sure there's 6 other ones. But yeah, I was offered to buy Cosmic Conspiracy records for pretty large amount of money, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
How could
I
you then
said
do
no.
that?
I said no. I said no, man. Like for me, this actually means something, and like
Yeah.
yeah, like, and then he said, I said no. I declined 3 written offers. The last one was for a really good amount of money. I declined 3 written offers, and then they wrote me a legal offer for every compilation that I'd done, every compilation up to
Okay.
that date that I'd done, to sign them over to him, and he would release them as his compilations under a different name. Yeah, I said no. I said no, but yeah, a lot of people don't know that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody really knows that unless they're really my close friends or something. But yeah, Thomas Bluscam offered to buy CCR years ago, and I declined.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
yes, yeah, integrity.
Otherwise, if it didn't happen, there would be no new Static Phone. That's for sure. I might as
Yeah,
well
or
tell
just
people that you asked me
just
for a
a
track, and now I'm 9 tracks down.
Oh, and man, there are some good tracks, man. They're really good. I honestly, yeah, those are just they're great. Yeah, people listening to this look forward to hearing what Static Corn has been writing for Cosmic Conspiracy Records and for my compilations because it's fucking fire. It's very nice,
It
unique
will
sound,
actually
mate.
represent every sound I got, from the deep dark to the more nighttime.
Very nice. It's dope. It's very nice. I think especially now with the the modern landscape of anyone trying to find music within this a vibe, it's very difficult. Like um you're gonna have a really present sound that a lot of labels have or tend to emulate now. And that might be really handy if that's what you want to do. But I think there's still enough people out there with different tastes or that seek the unknown or the less tread path that are really actually hungering for this type of music, and especially people our age as well. I think that prefer a certain flavor and stuff, and we're not feeling maybe that's being represented in what's being made or released now.
Yeah.
Hello, can I have a kiss? Give me a kiss.
Our
Thank you.
sidekick. She's been all over the place.
It has, yeah.
Yeah,
Pixie is actually the brains behind everything I do. Any sample it gets clearance through the burb first.
that's good.
Yeah.
If it's not okay with the bird, it's not okay. That's a good one.
The bird is the word.
So yeah, but it sounds really cool with all the new stuff, and I'm so much looking forward to it. I see this as a new adventure.
Thanks. Yeah. Cheers. I hope there's some interest out there for it. I mean, yeah, I've got the distribution channels and stuff in place, so yeah, gonna be putting out what we feel is high caliber sounds and artists with something to say. We'd love to hear from any new artists. Ideally, if they already know Cosmic Conspiracy as a label, and it's a bit hard for me, as you probably know, to tell somebody if they submit me a 190 BPM, you know, dark high tech tune. It's a bit harder for me to be like, yeah, I can. Whoa, wow. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe also through this hearing some flavors of sound that are more in line with you know elements that used to be and elements
Yeah,
that can be, etc. And
that's
see if my
also what I'm trying to do with the new static cone. It's more of a tribute to the old style, but with more professional, more modern sound.
yeah, mate. Oh yeah, mate.
A
Very
lot has
fat, very
happened
modern
since
sound.
then.
Great. Yeah, very fat, very modern sound. I played a few of those tracks out. Really nice, man. Looking forward to it. DJs and stuff out there should be looking forward to it. I'm sure next summer there'll be a fair bit of static corn and hopefully Cosmic Conspiracy in the
Yeah,
ears of festival goers. And I'd love to, if people will have me, if they're interested, I'd love to once again as well. Get to come out to Europe and stuff from time to time and help represent the artists and the sound and meet new artists and new connections to kind of drive this spaceship forwards into the future with everyone together and grow and
yeah.
evolve together. It's something special.
It's a new episode.
New episode. Nice one, brother. Nice.
Yeah. So it was super cool. Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, not really that I can think of. Is there anything particular yourself or you think watchers, viewers, listeners might want to know or to ask me or anything like that? Now's your chance.
Yeah. Well, uh, uh, as I see it, they should just look forward to what is coming because we are a lot of people working on the old sound again.
Nice.
So
Actually,
yeah,
there is one other thing I think I would like to talk about.
yeah,
A lot of people ask me this every day, and
yeah.
especially people that know that I think a lot of people that didn't know I had anything to do in the music industry after my accident and stuff for a long time. But people would ask me like, well, what did you do for like creative outlet? Like what was your? I taught myself to paint.
No, yeah, 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 yeah. In the background, yeah. You paint.
Uh, I do
Yeah,
paint.
and you said
I'm
you also
sure.
painted before the music.
No, I painted like as a residential painter and a specialty applicator. Like I knew about special chemicals and waterproofing and stuff
Oh,
like that. So I've been an artist since I was quite young, but like I'd never actually brushed a canvas. And so in the break that I took from music and Cosmic Conspiracy Records, I painted, and then I was teaching paint and sip classes and stuff. And I'm sure I'm sure Piv can put a link up magically somewhere there
oh
to
yeah,
my
yeah,
Instagram or something. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm I don't know, like I guess maybe I view myself as a psychedelic artist first, and music,
Yeah.
audible less. But I mean, for me, the sound and the artwork on all that stuff, it really ties into, at least for myself, more intent and like thought put into the process, and the artists all working together for a unified vision, maybe without knowing what each one is working on. The magic that's created with that is really special, and like that's I enjoy doing that. I miss doing that as well to a certain extent, and yeah. So
Oh yeah.
thanks for having me.
I put all the links down there for demos and Instagram and everything. No worries. People should go there
Yeah.
go and see what you paint because you're good.
Thanks. Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And I also, I release music. I'm doing a bit of production now, but I'm really busy with the two labels and other stuff.
Yeah.
But people can catch my sounds if they don't know. Trip and Stumble. I first appeared on Geek Mythology. I snuck in a track there. I didn't tell anybody it was me. I was like, if it sucks and nobody likes it, I could just like disavow the whole thing and pretend like, that jerk, yeah, he was terrible. Came in here, pissed on the couch, and left. So yeah,
The ultimate loser.
trip and stumble. If anyone wants some more low BPM weirdness, it's not the best out there, but I hope it's unique and has
It's
a. I
good.
hope
It's good.
I hope if you hear a trip and stumble track, you could be like, yeah, that sounds like this guy. Out of all the people in the world, this sounds like maybe that one guy. I'd be really happy with that. So, yeah, there'll probably be some new. I'm getting asked by labels now for trip and stumble tracks. So I'm sure there'll be something new, maybe even on this new compilation.
Oh,
Maybe I'll do a new live set or something, you know. But yeah, thank you, Pim, for everything you do, and thanks for having me, and thanks for anybody that
yes,
tuned in.
thanks for coming, man. It's such a pleasure. We go so long back, man. It's super cool. And now we're here again.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Again, yeah, respect for everything you do. I really appreciate it. And anyone that's tuned in and actually cares about what we do at Cosmic Conspiracy Records, you know,
Go
I guess
follow.
there's so many people I could give a shout out to, an artist, but just listen to the music on the label. And those are the people that I'd like to give shouts out to, and the artists. And yeah, if you're making some sounds that you think will resonate with what we do, and send it our way, man. We'd love to have you and hear what you're working on. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, all the
Yeah,
best.
of course. See you.
See you, brother. Bye.
See you.